Hey guys, M Zizzle back again to go over another slate. So we got this showdown slate tonight coming up. New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. It's a pretty terrible game, but we're still gonna play this slate, and I'm gonna run you through kind of the players I like, and once again, just build out a lineup that I'm gonna put together. So let's jump right into it. Let's start with the captain position. I think the main target's Jarvis Landry, but I think that Tyrod Taylor's not a bad play. You could have a little Darnold, some Anunwa as well. Those are probably going to be the four main guys that I'm going to focus on. I'll probably be building a bunch of different lineups tonight, and I'll have a mixture of them. Landry will be the guy that I have the most of, and Tyrod probably second, but have a little Darnold in case the Jets end up, having a good day. Have some Anunwa, he's the main target. And then, maybe sprinkle in a little bit of maybe one with the Browns defense, one with Carlos Hyde, things like that. But the focus is going to be Taylor and Landry for me. I do see this being kind of an ugly game. Has a low total. It's a Thursday night game. Both these teams aren't great on offense. I think Cleveland's got a good D. The Jets D seems to be pretty good as well. So probably going to be more of a defensive battle, more of a field goal game. So we have to take that into consideration when building this out. So let's start at captain. Let's throw Landry in. He's our favorite guy. He gets the most targets. I think Cleveland scores more than the Jets, so I'd like their main offensive weapon. I think he's the best bet to put up the most points. So we'll go with Landry. Now let's just kind of run down the list here of players, give my thoughts on who I like a little bit, and then we'll start adding some guys as well to the lineup to build it out. So like I said, Tyrod Taylor, I don't think he's a bad play. He runs, which helps, so he does put up some, like week 1, 8 carries for 77 yards and a touchdown. The week before, only 26 yards, but he has the ability, every game to run a touchdown and get you a couple extra points on the ground, and as well as throw the ball. He's not terrible through the air as well. So I do like Tyrod, and I'm going to have a bunch of him. Darnold, a little too turnover prone for me, especially in this game going against what I think is a good Cleveland defense, and a defense that's really caused a lot of turnovers so far. They had, I believe, 5 turnovers in week 1 against Pittsburgh. They had 2 or 3 last week as well. So, and those are against good offenses. In New Orleans and Pittsburgh, the Jets are not as good of an offense, and Darnold is more turnover prone than Breeze and Roethlisberger. So, don't know that I see Sam having a big day, but he's a quarterback. He's gonna get some points. He'll have a decent floor for us. So I don't hate the play. Anunwa I like. I think that he's the main guy so far through these first 2 weeks for the Jets. He's got a bunch of targets coming his way. If we look, week 1, 10, last week 11. So he's got a really strong floor for us. He's going to get double-digit targets most likely. You could lock him in for 5, 6 catches, 50, 60 yards. And if he gets a touchdown, then boom, you're really in business there. So I really like Anunwa. Powell, it's kind of the receiving back for the Jets. Him and Crowell have kind of been splitting duties. Crowell's been getting more rushes. Powell more involved in the passing game. So I don't love either of them. If you're going to pick one, I'd lean more towards Powell just because we get the PPR points. Carlos Hyde, he's just been kind of taking over the main role in Cleveland's backfield. 22 attempts week 1, 16 last week. So I know that they said this week they're going to try to get Duke Johnson more involved, but who knows if that's true. I also don't see Cleveland, playing from behind in this game. It's going to be more of a grinded out game, which lends itself more to Carlos Hyde than Duke Johnson, who's just a kind of a pass catching back and more of a third down player, whereas Hyde's going to be rushing the ball more. So I'll have a little Hyde. I don't love him, but I think that he's solid, and he's definitely going to get the work that we're looking for. Robbie Anderson, he's kind of boomer bust. I think you need to take a couple shots on him and have him in a couple lineups. Not a main core play for me, but he's a big play threat. And at any moment, he could have a 50-yard touchdown, and that could be the difference. Callaway, he had the big play last week. Again, he's a big play waiting to happen, but we don't know exactly how involved he's going to be and what his true role is going to turn into now that Gordon's gone. He's still a rookie. Um, so, again, definitely think he's viable, but is he reliable to have a good floor? Not so sure about that. Um, Especially just at this point of what we've seen, it seems he's kind of their big play threat. They're going to take some shots down the field with him, but how involved is he going to be target wise? The jury's kind of out there. So we spoke about Duke Johnson, third down back. Don't love him in this particular setting. Njoku, for 4,600 last week, 7 targets. The week before that, also 7 targets. So he's getting targeted. He's just not doing anything with it. 4 catches for 20 yards, 3 for 13. This guy is a big play type of, player. He's very athletic, big dude. Should be able to take some shots down the field with him. It's just not happening right now. But he is getting targeted. So I don't think he's a bad play. He's going to break out here soon. He's going to have a game where he makes a big play. He's just too talented not to. So I kind of like Njoku tonight. To take some flyers on, especially at that price point, 4,600. He's pretty easy to fit into the lineups. Browns defense, really like the Browns defense. They've been turning the ball, the offensive opponents over a lot. Darnold, like I said earlier, really prone to turning the football over, and I think it's going to be a game where we're probably in the teens, which bodes well for a defensive football team, and especially when it gets after the quarterback. Browns have been great creating a bunch of sacks, which is extra points. So I really like the Browns. Terrell Pryor, again, you could take a flyer, but he's just not getting the ball enough consistently for me. If I'm going to go after a pass catch for the Jets, it's a Nunwa. But if you're going with some other, higher price guys and you need to fill someone in, I don't hate them. The Jets defense, I'm more on Cleveland's D. Not going to have too much of the Jets. Jason Myers, we got the Jets kicker. I like both kickers. I think it's going to be a kicking game. I think both kickers will have an opportunity to put up multiple field goals. Joseph is cheaper, though, and I think the Browns win. But the question is, we don't know how good he is. They cut their kicker last week, and they just brought him in. So obviously they're expecting him to be able to deliver. So I lean more towards Joseph than Myers just because I think Cleveland puts up more points and he has more opportunity. And that's really it. You could take a flyer on Curse. He's back now, but he just didn't do anything last week. He only had 2 targets. Seems he may be 4th in the pecking order, so really not going to target that. So, let's start building out this lineup and see what we can put together. I'm going to throw the Browns defense in. I'm going to be playing a lot of them. Really like them. I'm also going to throw in the Browns kicker. I like him as well. And, you see, we got tons of salary left. You could really do whatever you want. If you like Darnold and a Nunwa, you could throw Darnold and a Nunwa, and you still have 7,000. And then you could even throw a Callaway or an Njoku easily into the lineups. You can go any way you like. You like Tyrod Taylor and you like Sam Darnold. You still can go with Njoku or Pryor. Tons of money. You can really play this however you want. I really like Tyrod Taylor, so I'm throwing him in there as well. In comparison to Darnold, that's kind of my thought process there. I'm not going to go both quarterbacks, and I think Darnold has an opportunity to kind of implode in this game. But Taylor's just solid. He can run. Maybe it's a rushing touchdown. And if I'm going one quarterback or the other, I'm going to go with Taylor. We mentioned really liking a Nunwa, so I'm going to throw a Nunwa in there. He's going to be my jet guy. And then I have 6,000 left. And that leaves me with Duke Johnson, who I don't love, and Njoku, who I was on a bit, Pryor, Jets kicker. Yeah, I'm going to go Njoku. So I've got David Njoku and Nunwa, Tyrod Taylor, Joseph, Cleveland kicker, the Browns D, and Jarvis Landry. So we're heavily on Cleveland with what I think is the most reliable Jets player in Enunwa, and I think that's a really good lineup to start with. Like I said, I'm going to be making multiple lineups tonight, so you can kind of just mix and match and have exposure to a bunch of these different guys. But the people I have in this lineup is probably going to be my core players. These are the guys I like the best, the guys that I think are kind of safest to have a good game and also have the upside to have big days as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would be great. Comment if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel if you've been liking the videos I've put out so far. I'm going to keep doing these for every slate, doing all the showdown slates, as well as a video that's going to come up tomorrow that's going to go over kind of my thoughts on week 3, so be on the lookout for that. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good one.